Voting is a civic duty. Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe Television.
Good evening to you all viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news tonight. In our major stories, dangerous gorillas and chimpanzees continuously attack local villages of Nous located in the Senegal Maritime Division of the Littoral region. A young man recently escaped death by hair's breadth after he was fiercely attacked and almost got his nose completely chopped off by a stray gorilla in that village. Our reporters were on the field today and we will be taking you to Nous in this edition of the news. Plus, today is celebrated as the International Mother Tongue Day, while commemorative activities took place in primary schools today across Cameroon. Parents have been encouraged to always speak local languages to their children so as to preserve our cultural heritage and prevent it from fading into this modern society. And in the second part of the news tonight, viewers, we will tell you why youth must actively take part in the political process, especially ahead of elections in the country. Those are our big stories. Details when we come back. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for the confidence. Inhabitants of Nous, a locality in the Senegal Maritime Division of the Littoral region, are in shock after a second chimpanzee attack that nearly killed a man. That was his name we got as David Mabus. That chimpanzee or gorilla almost completely chopped off his nose. They are urging authorities from the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife to come save them from the looming danger in that village called Nous. Immaculate Fogwe takes us to Nous in this report.
Blood oozing out of a disfigured face of an individual following a fierce attack by 3 chimpanzees in a forest in Nous, Senegal Maritime Division, Littoral region of Cameroon. The victim, David Maboth, while on his way to the forest, was almost sent to an early grave after an unusual encounter with 3 chimpanzees. Fortunately for him, he managed to escape out of the forest. He was later rushed to the Yaoundé Central Hospital by locals who saw him bleeding profusely. The unfortunate incident has left the population of Nous in shock, with many expressing fear about who will be the next victim. He told me he was attacked by 3 chimpanzees. Before, the forest had just a chimpanzee. That means the number keeps increasing. We are not safe anymore. The divisional officer asked us why we didn't inform them about the presence of chimpanzees, and we said we didn't see the need to because they had not caused any harm. Now the situation has changed. We hope the chimpanzees will be taken away. The people who principally depend on agriculture for livelihood say it is practically impossible for them not to go to farms as they risk dying of hunger. We all are scared. We need to go to the farm to look for food, but we can't do so. We are calling on the government to come rescue us. We are not safe at the moment. A similar incident occurred in the month of June 2024 as Nicolas Bijas, a hunter in Nous, equally saw his face disfigured by a chimpanzee. The Minister of Forestry and Wildlife, Dorette Dongo, sent a team of forest guards to investigate and take necessary measures. After this new attack, the population of Nous wonder about the effectiveness of the measures taken by the forest guards.
From the littoral, we now take you to the central region, where a family in Yaoundé in the center is in search of their daughter, missing that was since October 30, 2024. Naomi Farrell Jomo, 16-year-old, was last seen at the Yaoundé University Teaching Hospital, where she gave birth to a baby girl. Thereafter, no one has heard neither from her nor the whereabouts of her baby. However, there are fears that this case might be similar to that of Vanessa Chachua, who lost her baby. Lucy Liengo is here, has the details.
Parents of 16-year-old Naomi Farenjomo have been having sleepless nights since the disappearance of their daughter and granddaughter. Since October 30, 2024, the only comfort they have found is in her photo album.
One
evening around 8:45 p.m., my youngest child told me he was hungry, so I tried to call my daughter, but there was no answer. A few minutes later, I was informed that she was not at home. We spent the entire night searching the neighborhoods to no avail.
Le 30 octobre.
Naomi, who holds a baccalaureate certificate, has left her family in a state of confusion. They have reported her disappearance to authorities and security forces to no avail.
L'enfant au primaire.
While her pictures circulated on social media, one of her former French teachers revealed that she had seen Naomi at the Yaoundé University Teaching Hospital.
3 jours successifs.
When Equinoxe television visited the Yaoundé University Teaching Hospital, we were informed that Naomi Fareng was indeed admitted in the facility on the night of October 30, 2024 and remained there until January 17, 2025 when she disappeared after giving birth to a baby girl on the 10th of January 2025.
Le bébé, en question, je n'ai jamais vu le bébé, même la maman du bébé.
I question how my daughter ended up in the facility when the commissioner claimed she had been there for 3 months and was being cared for by the social department.
Votre fille va bien?
Also, the medical facility reviewed Naomi confessed to them that she was raped by her, which was the reason she did not want to keep the baby. She had to change her identity because of the trauma.
Elle vivait chez son oncle qui était un homme en tenue.
Now let's talk about the Mother Tongue Day, which is being commemorated today. Stakeholders in the preservation of the country's cultural heritage have encouraged the younger generation not to forget their mother tongue, notwithstanding the evolving world. The call was made as students gathered at the government's bilingual high school in Aqua to celebrate the International Mother Tongue Day today. Samanji Kangibre was there.
Sanno manene am hayatu Fadmatu Yasmina mi fréquente ha collège de la salle Aqua mi wari ha mi representa Garwa Sokomon.
At Government Technical Bilingual High School in Aqua, just like in other areas of the national territory, the International Mother Tongue Day is being celebrated.
Namasomele binyo Zimbabwe mbanende Congo ipan lokaterin na yengande au lycée technique bilingue d'Aqua.
Ngoshasi nzeli yenzemu wemengele lasi yasipuye ngompa sikuma lycée technique de Douala Kumasi.
The Alfred Secker College, GBHS Jos, Collège de la Salle, as well as many public and private institutions within Douala 1 subdivision gathered to celebrate this day. Songs, dance and sketches are some of the activities to commemorate the Mother Tongue's Day.
The children have seen it very, very important to know that the mother language, the mother's tongue, because many times when they get nearer to their grandparents, they are unable to communicate with them. So they have been, for that reason, they have been forced now to go back and study their mother's tongue, which is the first language that they ought to have known.
However, though the day is being celebrated this Friday at the Government Technical Bilingual High School in Aqua, Wednesdays have been set aside as a day to teach native dialect to the students.
In our institution, we practice Mother's Tongue Day on Wednesday. Yes, it's a day that is mostly for social activities, and children are in various clubs. They do various things and they speak the Mother's Tongue Day. And there's also a teacher for cultural activity that helps them to go through their mother tongue.
2025 marks exactly 25 years since the International Day of the Mother Tongue was introduced. An effort to preserve the linguistic diversity and promotion of the mother tongue, which is disappearing in our society, hasn't stopped.
Meantime, youth in Cameroon have been called upon to desist from violence and insurrection as a means to achieve the desired change in the country. They should instead be Republican and use the democratic approach by massively registering on the electoral registers and head for the polls on the election day. The call was made by officials of the Cameroon Front Party during a workshop in Douala to train the youth on the reason they should get involved in politics. Innocent Ase with the details.
Rising tension everywhere in the Republic of Cameroon is in no doubt a threat to peace, national unity and development. These riots often stem from disgruntled youth who desire their frustrations fade away and change in every sphere or shut in. To meet this aspiration through peaceful and responsible means, the Cameroon Front Party is serving as a torchlight to its youth wing and other young citizens.
Our focus is education. We think that if our youth are educated of knowing their country, you cannot love your country if you don't know your country. You cannot love even yourself. This workshop is a change of mentality. We will change our country. Is to educate people to know how to stay in peace, because peace is not only absent of war. Peace also, you build peace every day, and if there is peace, we can educate our children. If we educate our children, we can build a better Cameroon for tomorrow.
By knowing their beloved nation, institutions, and their rights to partake in political affairs, the mentors note it is a fruitful path to political transition and a better Cameroon for all.
Youth of today are leaders of tomorrow, so we should start to build the ground on politics. The politics, using youth to go and burn places, using youth to go and insult people, using youth to go and pile ballot boxes is not the idea of Cameroon Front. Cameroon Front is to educate.
Just like other political leaders or actors, civil society and religious leaders, officials of the Front Cameroon Party encourage the youth to take their destiny into their hands by exercising their civic duties like registering on the electoral list, casting their votes on election day and securing the vote so that their favorite candidate wins.
We will be talking more on that in the second part of the news. The Italian ambassador to Cameroon says Italy is interested in Fontem as part of their support to the reconstruction plan in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The ambassador was speaking during a visit to the BLM division of the southwest region. For me, Armstrong Sander has details.
Like most public and private individual projects in the BLM division of the southwest region, the many landmark dividends of the historic relations between Cameroon and Italy came under the heavy wave of the armed conflict in the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of the country. This includes symbolic educational and health facilities like the Our Lady of Seeds of Wisdom College Fontem and the Mary Health of Africa Hospital Fontem, testifying the beneficial Cameroon-Italy relations through the over 59 years presence of the Focolare movement in the Fontem dynasty and the BLM division in general.
I tell you how I am happy to be here in Fontem, Focolare, and the people Bangla, because we would like that the people could continue suffered. We can testify from the ruin we see from the house.
This and many other socio-economic, security and cultural challenges were reviewed during the visit of the Italian ambassador, His Excellency Filippos Kamaka del Murgu, to the BLM division.
I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank all the dignitaries, the military, the security people, the population.
A visit that saw him decorated by the traditional ruler of Fontem. Within the context of the presidential plan for the reconstruction and development of the northwest and southwest English-speaking regions of Cameroon, the Italian ambassador said Italy is interested in Fontem and also ready to support Cameroon in the project.
Now let's talk sports. The Minister of Sports and Physical Education has officially launched the 30th edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope today in Buea. Our reporter in Buea, Rex Afon, who is on standby, tells us that over 600 athletes will be taking part in the competition this year. The Mount Cameroon Race of Hope takes place tomorrow. Hello, Rex.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here at the Moliko Omnisport Stadium, where the representative of the head of state, Minister of Sports and Physical Education, Professor Narcisse Moelle-Kombi, has officially launched the 30th edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope. In his speech, while opening the ceremony, he said that the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope has over the years not just been an opportunity for athletes to showcase their talents, but an opportunity for Cameroon and Cameroonians to express their socio-cultural diversity. This year's race is going to witness the participation of about 600 participants or athletes who are drawn from all across the country, Cameroon, and even beyond. Also, we have witnessed homage paid to one of the Kenyan athletes who participated in the race last year. He came out 16th. He is Kipsang. He died immediately after crossing the finish line some few minutes later, and homage has been paid him. And in order to avert such situations, medical teams have been mobilized fully in order to ensure that all the athletes that participate in this year's race are fully tested in order for them to be cleared before they go up and down the mountain. Libations are already being poured by the chiefs and traditional rulers of Buea in order to pave the way for a Pasamoto, as they say, the god of the mountain, to give the athletes a safe entry and exit into and out of the mountain. We have also spotted among the athletes Sarah Leone Tonge, who is going to be participating in the veteran category this year. Reporting live from the Moliko Omnisport Stadium, I am Rex Afon, Equinoxe Television.
Rex Afon reporting live from Buea. Thanks you, Rex. Viewers, that does it for the first part of the news. Let's now move on to Talking Point. Welcome back, viewers. Our guest tonight is Sebastine KUFOR. He is a head of a pressure group known as the Strength of the Youth Movement. Sebastine, thank you so much for accepting to be our guest tonight. Now you are part of, or you head a pressure group. You motivate, encourage, and push your peers to get themselves registered. Not just that, you let them understand the importance of being actively present and participate in the electoral process. The movement is Strength of the Youth. Can you tell us more about that and your objectives?
Thank you so much. I appreciate this invitation to Equinoxe TV. Definitely, I'm going to expatiate on what we stand for. The Strength of the Youth Movement has as its objective youthful governance or nothing, which is embedded in our slogan, that youthful governance. We believe that the youth has 70% of the dominant population in Cameroon, and definitely they should be represented very more in the government activities than it is. For example, at the present moment, we feel the youth are represented 0.0001% into the whole government, which we think that it is not normal. So the youthful population, we are talking about the youth getting into governance, the youth getting into administrative positions. In fact, the youth should take over the running mechanism of the nation. That is what we stand for, and we are promoting that the youth get actively involved in politics and take over economic sectors as they are already doing in economics and other activities in the nation. So our focus is to make sure we empower the youth to be not the leaders as we have been told, the leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of now, that they can build morals and other cultural values that can be passed for the generations that are coming. Because since the slogan, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, we think that it is a manipulation over the mindset of the youth. So the youth have been manipulated to stay docile. We are seeing people are approaching 45, 50, and they are still saying they are youth. They are still thinking of tomorrow. What is the tomorrow? So definitely it is an ideology that we want to kill down, that the youth are the leaders of now. So when we want to talk about youth, we think that the definition of youth in the context of Cameroon needs to be revisited, because we want to think that is where the problem is. So our main objective is empowering the youth, standing for the youth, make sure the youth take over what belongs to them, because they are ripe, they have the ability, they have the willingness, and they have the intellectual capabilities to do that which they have to do, which they have been relegated behind the background of the nation. So we believe that the youth have not been given the opportunities. So politics, getting involved in politics, getting involved in the economy means if their abilities are not being put into place, then they have to seize the opportunity by asking the octogenarians and the aging people who have hijacked the position they should be sitting about to go and rest. It is a time for them to rest and act as coaches, mentors, and encouragers, not definitely frontlining the activities of the nation. That's what we stand for.
You just insisted there a lot on the youthful population. Why the insistence? Why the focus on the young people?
Factors because first, I love my nation, Cameroon. So it is born out of the spirit of patriotism. Every true national in every nation will want to see the nation rise above ashes. And I think that is what I am standing in for, that the flag of Cameroon should fly higher than any other flag within Africa and the world. Cameroon should be able to be respected among communities of nations internationally and within the African sector. And that can only be done when structures are being put in place that represent human values and other issues. So we are talking about a country where men are stronger than institutions. And this is what it gives a disturbing kind of feelings in our mind. For example, why am I concentrating about the youth? Because this is a set of people that are the machinery behind the development of every nation. So when they are not being put in place, automatically productivity in the nation is going to drastically be low. And that is what is happening in Cameroon. For example, we have a lot of brain draining, which people are going out of the country. We have experts in medicines, in law, and other things who are abandoning their professions in Cameroon, going out to seek for greener pastures, which it ought not to be so. It ought not to be so. Why? Because we have people at the helm of affairs who are struggling to use the policies they used in the 1960s to implement it in the present generation, which it cannot tie. So they should allow people who understand the mastery of the time to run the time, because they can come clearly out with formula that is going to make Cameroon to be respected, adopted as one of the leading nations in the world, and to maintain its position in Central Africa, not just by name as the leader of Central Africa, but it should be visible, it should be evidence in our productivity, in all atmosphere, being in justice, being in law, being in economic, being in social development, which are highly lacking. So this is our motivation as youth. We want to take over so that we can push this agenda that will suit our narrative and suit our time. We don't want people to tell us about what they did in the 60s. We want to do what we have to do in our own time, because everyone is having a passing time on earth. And before you pass, you should be able to make a legacy for your own nation and keep things that the future generation will say a word of thanks, even if you will not be able to hear them say it.
You just spoke about mass exodus of the youthful population, which is actually a reality. We don't want to come back to what happened at the Simalen airport some days back. Now tell us, how do you deploy? How are you guys deployed in the field?
When you get the strength of the movement, it is not just a talk, but it's a movement because it cannot be quantified. It is guided by a spirit of reawakening. It is by the spirit of reawakening of the youth. So we want to say that it echoes from the north to the south, to the east, and to the west. Our voices are one because we are unanimously agreeing that this is a time for us to take dominance and take that which rightfully belongs to this generation, to handle it and give a clearer path about it. So definitely we are carrying talks. We are having several meetings. We have been having several meetings. We have had meetings in the north. We have meetings in center, here in Littoral, in the southwest region, many other youth. So we are going to say, for it to be tasted and time to show about it, the presidential election is going to be the litmus test about what we have been doing on the field. Because we want to say that the youth are going to have a huge impact concerning the presidential election 2025. And that is why we are making this round. We are having this talk because a lot is being done and a lot is going to be done again. It is just the starting point of it, but definitely the presidential election 2025 and the upcoming election for 2026, that is the parliamentary and the municipal, is going to be a volume. It is the litmus test, and definitely it is going to come out positively. Because we are looking forward to things that are no longer benefiting the country, especially economically. We definitely feel like the House of Senate should be dissolved. The House of Senate is useless. It is economical, it is misplacing our resources, and we feel the special status given to Northwest and Southwest should be revoked. Definitely there's a lot of things we are working, but the litmus test is the presidential election.
And now can you tell me, Mr. Sebastine, what has been your experience so far on the field? Do you see the youth eager? Is there some enthusiasm for them to effect the change they desire in the country?
Definitely, I want to see that the motivation and enthusiasm is like never before. First and foremost, we must understand that the CPDM regime has given a political roadmap of the nation that has been so intimidating and misleading with the youth. For example, we have a lot of people spreading propaganda of the mystery surrounding politics, which automatically it is just a way to push the youth out of what they should be doing. Definitely, the youth are feeling discouraged because why? We feel like democracy by itself has had a crash in Cameroon. So when democracy had a crash in Cameroon, automatically there is a lot of discouragement and many people feel like nothing can be done. But automatically, this was just propaganda that has been totally made by a lot of people, feeling like there is no rising up of the people that has never come with a result. And this is the kind of message we are taking it back to them. We can cite a nation like Gambia. When Jamia was there, whatever mechanism you put in place, when the people decide, they will have what they want to have. So definitely the youth are ready, but they already have these sentimental feelings, like their vote has never been taken into account. Definitely we think we are working on strategies to make sure as we are giving our support within whatever candidate we are going to choose, because right at the moment we haven't endorsed a candidate for the presidential election. But hopefully we are going to do that, and when that is being done, with our mechanism we are going to put in place as youth, that is going to safeguard vote. Like our slogan now, we are telling them, go and register, obtain your voter's card, vote, and together we will defend the mandate. So those are very technical and strategic issues that cannot be discussed on air, but definitely it will be seen in action.
Thank you, Sebastine KUFOR. We would have loved to know from you if you have had some obstacles on the field and how you've been able to surmount them. Because of time constraints, we won't be able to prolong the conversation, but we assure you we will be having more of these conversations in subsequent news editions, because we actually want the youth to register massively and get involved actively in the electoral process in Cameroon, especially in the year 2025. Thank you again, Sebastine KUFOR, for accepting to be our guest tonight on Talking Points. Thank you, viewers. That was what we put together for you. On the news tonight, our programs continue. The news comes up in the French language. That would be at 8 p.m. and at 7 p.m. Search along with B in the studio for Equinoxe. Thank you again for being with us and have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye for now.